So these I picked up in the sale, and it was £65, so very cheap. And I think it's because it was one of the last sort of sizes remaining. And it's a Vomero 5, and it's basically in the what they're calling the pure platinum laser orange colorway. And this is a pair that came out last year, and when you see photos of it online, it looks a lot more, I suppose, on the brighter side. And having them in hand, it's got more of that sort of, I guess, laney vibe to it. So it's got, like, obviously the sort of grey panels all around it, which is very sort of 2K runner-ish anyway. And then on top of that, if you look at the inner lining, it's got blue, and same with the sort of lace loops as well. They've got sort of blue navy type touches on it. And then the insole itself, if I can get that in the light, the insole itself is basically yellow as well. And then the swoosh as well is like this yellow, which they're calling laser orange. And what I like about the Vomero is I actually like the styling. So first of all, it's kind of similar to the way the 2002R looks, but this is more busy than the 2002R. It's got loads of little sort of details on it with the mesh stripe going, this TPU panel going down with the stripes, and then the back with this sort of triangle pattern on it, and gives that sort of breathability and makes it quite sort of sturdy and stable as well. And what I will say, the build quality on these Vomeros are quite nice actually. They quite sort of feel quite sort of sturdy on foot and feel quite sort of plush at the same time. And then also the fact that they've got Cushlon, like this EVA Materials Cushlon, and sort of Nike Zoom in there as well. So it just feels really nice, and the traction is really good on these as well. You know, like you can see they're quite sort of grippy and have a lot of different sort of patterns on there, which is more of the sort of, I think, what they call the waffle style, being sort of squares. But it works really well, and like I say, the sneaker's quite cool because you've got the navy in the outsole. It kind of matches up with the rest of it, and there isn't too much sort of navy showing through, but it's just enough to kind of make it feel, I suppose, a bit different to some of the other Vomeros that have come out. So here are the details for the Nike Zoom Vomero 5 Pure Platinum Laser Orange. Comes in a pure platinum and laser orange colorway, and these have Zoom air units in the heel and also in the forefoot. And it also has a Cushlon midsole, and it's made up of mainly sort of synthetic upper materials, and the price was £145. So with the comfort and sizing, these are kind of, in my eyes, sort of similar to a Gel NYC and a 1906R from New Balance, and basically they're on the soft to medium side, and they have quite a bit of sort of squishiness on the forefoot and also in the heel, and that's mainly from the Zoom Air unit and also the Cushlon midsole tech that's been used. And I personally think it's not as soft as a 1906R or as a Gel NYC, slightly on the firmer side compared to those two sneakers, but it still feels very nice on foot, and it just depends on what you want really from the comfort. And it also has good neutral support around the arch because of the fact that these were, you know, a runner and now more of a sort of lifestyle sneaker. And no wearing time for these because it's made up of a predominantly mesh upper. And true to size works for this as well, so you can definitely go true to size, it should be fine. I went half size up, and I think with this particular pair and sort of any ones that are sort of standard men's Vomeros, you can go true to size, should be fine. And they also have really good traction as well, so the outside is quite sort of chunky, so that should be fine for pretty much all kinds of weather really. So with the look and style, I like the newly retroed model. I think it's nice actually, and then out of sort of some of the 2K models, especially from Nike, I think this is one of their nicest silhouettes. And also like the slightly more sort of darker sort of tone used on this, because a lot of the Vomeros that we've seen have either been like really high in sort of a monotone color such as red or blue and or brown, whilst this is kind of using a sort of dark silver color, which is very much I suppose more of a sort of Nike signature style sneaker anyway, especially for a runner. And the laser orange just kind of offsets that as well, and then you got the blue on the sock liner. And it's a good one for the spring summertime, so in my opinion, because of the breathability and the comfort level as well, and you won't feel like hot in these, and you can pretty much walk in them all day and be fine. And I think this particular pair, I wouldn't really be dressing them up, it's more of a casual sneaker, because It's got a lot of sort of silver hits on there, so, and the bright orange. And you can go with sort of the white laces, navy would work well as well because of the sock liner and the outsole, and obviously orange. So in terms of the pros, I like the fact that this sneaker feels lightweight. Like I say, similar to a 1906R or a Gel NYC from Asics, and the comfortableness of it is very similar as well for those two trainers. And I actually like the way the Vomero feels on foot as well. And the darker colours in this one is quite nice because they won't get dirty that quickly, and it's quite sort of still monotone, even though it's got a lot of silver on there. In terms of cons, I think the cost at £145 is probably asking for too much money, especially because it's quite an old trainer now, and also I suppose relatively old tech as well. And the ratings, I give the look and style a 4 out of 5 for this one. I think it misses a mark because of the fact that I think I prefer sort of the more white, sort of neutral colourways in all honesty, but this is a nice change up. And the comfort, I'm going to give it a 5. It's one of the most sort of comfortable sort of Nike sneakers in my opinion, especially sort of if you're looking for that sort of neutral, almost sort of soft feeling trainer. And the quality, I give that a 4. It's not like there's anything bad about it, but it's obviously not using its premium materials, and that's the reason why I've given it a 4. And the same for the pricing. I think it's probably priced like £25 more than it should be, so I think they should retail about 120 in my opinion. And overall, I still give it a 4 out of 5, especially if you can pick them up on sale. It's definitely worth it for another pair of Vomeros, you know. And if you're really into your Vomeros, then this is probably a cool one to get as well, especially like I say on sale.